bought from them 3 times. So oops, I already have their needles. Where it is? Lovely sweater. Maybe the color is a bit too much for me. Why everything is falling? Oh, please have to find her needles. Somewhere here. Okay, I'm lost in my yarn. Hi everyone, my name is Lisa, and today I want to show you my new parcel box and my new order from Let's Knit shop. I ordered some new yarn for Black Friday, and I want to share with you my plans for the future projects, and also to discuss what yarn I got, what needles I got, and just to show you this yarn, show you the colors and what I think about them. I hope you will like it. Okay, first one, I will start from the yarns that I ordered to finish some of my projects. I started certain projects in autumn, sometimes some of them even in August, and I couldn't finish them because I was lacking some yarn. And since delivery costs money, and since usually you have free delivery starting from certain amount, I try to gather some yarns that I want to order and order at the same time stuff plus this yarn for projects I want to finish. So I ordered one ball of this Drops Kid Silk. It's color number 14. It's red. And also one ball for the same project of Drops Nord, also number 14. So this is unicolor, 45% alpaca, 30% polyamide, and 25% wool in a color 14. It's winter yarn. It is very durable, very cozy. Yeah, and Kid Silk, which is mohair and silk, 75% mohair, 25% silk. It's very fluffy, it's very airy, luxurious. It's like, I like mohair. You can see I'm wearing now this crochet sweater that I made from Alize yarn. It's Turkish yarn. It's also fluffy. I really like mohair. The only downside, disadvantage of mohair is that it's everywhere if you're wearing it. Even now I see particles of my hair flying around me. I was finishing my granny square now, crocheting it, and I had to take a piece of mohair from it from time to time and from my mother because it's mohair, but it's very beautiful and it suits me, and I like this fragile lines that it creates. So this is, I will show you my sweater. So this is a sweater that I made. It doesn't have any pattern on Ravelry. It was a workshop on YouTube that I found. It was one of my first projects with something more complicated than simple braid or simple one color jumper, or I made once a top with strips. It was a pattern, and I wanted someone to take my hand and guide me step by step. That's why I opened the YouTube video that I liked. It has this beautiful design. Yeah, I really like it, and I also like that the color line is a bit different than usually. It's not this usual color lines that you get in sweaters. The only thing, yes, you might see I'm lacking half of sleeve, so the sleeve is done. This sleeve is halfway through. That's why I ordered again just a couple of balls more. So for this sweater I had 5 balls of Nord and 4 balls of kid silk, and so I needed 1 ball of each more to finish the sweater. I like the color, but I'm not sure whether it will suit me perfectly. I wanted something red, but I prefer a bit more subtle colors. I think I have this face and color in my appearance that are more, yeah, light and soft. That's why I will show you my yarn. It's more soft usually, but maybe sometimes I'm like rebellious and I want something bright, and that was the sweater. Okay, next, this is Drop Saffron, again for one unfinished project that I have. This is natural color, number 18. This is cotton yarn, 100% cotton, 50 grams, 160 meters. It is very soft again, but it's cotton, but it's actually pretty soft for cotton. Cotton usually sometimes could be a bit ew. Smooth and actually very nice. I already had 2 balls of it. I started to make a hat. So this was my project. Let me show you. So yeah, it's gonna be a hat. So for now it's just this long thingies. It looks like a scarf. I need like this more. Why? Because it is Drops project called Edith Piaf hat. It's supposed to be a winter hat, and it's supposed to be made from yarn with wool, alpaca or something like this. But the thing with me, I sometimes need a hat when the winter starts or late autumn, and it is cold enough to wear a hat, but not cold enough to wear a hat from wool or from alpaca. That's why I want a hat that would cover my ears, cover my head, but I don't want to sweat in it. That's why it's my experiment. I wanted to make a cotton winter hat, like autumn hat, I would say. So this one, when it's gonna be long enough, I'm gonna wrap it, sew it, and it's gonna be like a hat. I will show you later how it ends up. So again, 1 ball. I hope it's, yeah, color actually goes with it. I was afraid a bit that the color will be off. Sometimes the yarn from different batches could have a bit different coloring, and if you attach this new yarn you would see the edge when the color changed. But yeah, this one is pretty nice. I will see, maybe I will wear it in October when it's starting to rain, started to be cold. Yeah, I hope it will work. I try to wear some headphones, some hairbands, but yeah, it's still not perfect. I still feel a bit cold on my head. I will try to finish this and see whether it works or not. Maybe it was the stupidest idea I ever had. Yeah, never know. Next one is, yeah, this beautiful yarn. So this is for the new project. This is, look at it, it's so beautiful. It's again kid silk from Drops, silk and mohair. It is color number 55, Misty Lilac. It's very, again, airy and fluffy, and the color is beautiful. Color is Misty Lilac. It's grayish violet. It is light, it is soft, so it's not clear violet, and I would say it is rather warm than cold, if you know about color theory. I bought it to make Ballerina Romance sweater by Camille K. It is beautiful, romantic, feminine sweater that I want to make from this yarn. I think on a picture it's pinkish, it's kind of peach color. I want to make it violet, and I think it will suit this pattern. You might see it's a bit different. Like, I mean, this one is a bit more bluish, this one is a bit more violet, and this is also my hair. And yeah, this graceful pattern I think will go very well with this yarn. I really like Drops. It's cheap yarn comparatively. It's maybe not so luxurious in some other companies, but it's affordable for someone like me, for students. And they have a lot of different yarns, different colors, different types. So always if I look at the pattern at Ravelry, they offer some fancy yarn that I cannot afford myself. I usually go and try to find some drops alternatives. A lot of companies also have sometimes sales on drops like this one. It was a Black Friday deal. So beautiful, beautiful. Okay, next one. Next one is this yellow yarn. So this is this yellow yarn. This is Drops Belle, unicolor, 53% cotton, 33% viscose, 40% linen, 40 grams, 120 meters. It is very soft and breathable. I have 7 balls, 7 balls of it. It is for Provence top by Ekaterina Vorobyova. I think on the picture it's in violet colors, but I decided to make it yellow. This is yellow, but it's not very yellowish yellow. It is soft. Since it's mixed content, you can see that it's not it is unicolor. I mean, it is unicolor, but at the same time the structure is not like in, for example, my previous yarn, what it is. And yeah, saffron, it's 100% cotton. You can see it's like very soft and like one type, and this is completely different. I mean, we will try to show you on separate video piece. This project is very rustic, but at the same time it's still romantic. I like the pattern, and I think it's kind of simple but still has some kind of thing in it. It will be not so simple as simple t-shirt, so I want to try it. And I think it would look lovely in this color, in this yellowish color. Yeah, this is yellow, rather cold and warm, I would say, but it's soft and light, and I know that this kind of color suits me. I will look bad in dark colors and in colors that are too deep to clean. That's why I try to choose these soft colors, usually warm rather than cold, but it doesn't matter until they're light enough for me. Okay, next one is Drops Saffron again, but this is 4 balls, yeah, 4 balls for my new project. So this is gonna be for Be My Tulip by Camille K again. This is a beautiful summer top with a lace design. I think on the picture it's also pink, so I bought pink yarn. This is blush color, 69. The color is pinkish, but it's not extremely bright, not extremely, yeah, it's soft grayish pinkish, I would say. It's also, yeah, it's cold. It's rather cold than warm. Look at this. The pattern is very feminine, very romantic, very delicate, and I'm really looking forward to start making it. I try to make my summer projects in winter and my winter projects in summer, which is maybe not very logical. Yeah, because yeah, sometimes you don't. Yes, I know that some people don't like to touch wool and hair when it's summer, when it's hot and you're making a sweater, but at the same time, when summer is off and the cold times start, you have the sweater already done and then you can wear it. If you're making sweater in winter, but usually when you're done, I mean, it's beautiful, like snow, cold, your cacao, and you're making a sweater. The picture is beautiful, but when you finish it, it's already end of winter and you cannot wear it until the next season. That's why I prefer to do vice versa. Yes, I'm sweating doing the sweater, making a sweater in summer, and I am feeling silly making a summer top in winter, but then I could wear it on time. So this is for my summer projects. Maybe we'll do it, we'll start to make them a bit yeah, later, end of winter, when it's kind of going towards spring. So as you might see, all my yarn today was like very soft, very light, and it exactly fits my wardrobe and my color type, my appearance. That's why I'm into it. That's why I tried to pick colors that would suits me. Yeah, what else? I also ordered some needles. So I will start from this one. This is Knit Pro. This is a Mindful collection. It's 3mm needles. I will knit them from Fro One Stop by Katina Vorobyova. It is made with 3mm needles. I have 3.5. I have 2.5, but I don't have 3. That's why I bought them. I also didn't have Mindful collection, anything from Mindful collection from Knits Pro. It would be fun to try. So we'll see how they behave. I have drops kits of interchangeable needles, and they're doing great. That's why I just want to compare. I don't think there's going to be much difference, but anyway. Another one, I bought 15mm needles, again Knit Pro from Ginger collection. I already have their needles from Ginger collection, so I have a whole kit of mini needles, 5mm needles, for making sleeves, for making collars, for making infant clothes. And I also have here needles that I bought separately. So I had 10mm ginger already, and I made my summer shells jumper from drops with them. And as you might see, everything is fine. But I have another needles, and this is 9mm from Knit Pro, and I exactly don't remember which collection it is, but as you may see, I also worked a sweater with it, and the number already is gone. I have sizer, I will figure it out which size it is, but actually I expected a bit more from Knit Pro. I expected a bit more from companies that is kind of expensive. It's like Knit Pro. Yeah. It's not cheap supermarket needles, and I expected that they would last, I mean, the text would be, yeah, last more than one sweater. That's why I advise to buy Ginger. I mean, it doesn't matter, like, the quality is nice. I really like to work with them. I still prefer stainless steel, to be honest. I know that it's, yeah, it's preference matter, but I prefer to work with stainless steel than with wood, and I would advise to buy Ginger rather than other types of yeah, where they have this number on the metallic part, not on the wooden part, because on the wooden part you will touch it and then it will just disappear. So I bought 15mm needles. I don't need this size specifically now, but I'm that kind of person that likes to have everything just in my bag. I know it's maybe not very ecological, it's not very nice for nature. I really advise to buy things when you need them for your projects, but since I was ordering and it was a sale, I decided to buy them anyway. So now I have 15mm needles, and if I want to start a project, I could start a project right away and don't wait for the needles to come. And what else? And the last needles that I have, it's a Symphony collection, also Knit Pro 12mm needles. I'm not sure actually which needle that was that I was not so happy about. It looks like Symphony, but I don't know. I'm not sure exactly, because this one I bought in Paris and I lost the package, and I don't remember that type of a series that it was. It looks a bit different from Symphony. But this Symphony also has a number on a needle, so I'm afraid it will behave the same way, so I will just lose a size number at some point. Also don't need them now, but I wanted to pick some needles from different collections of Knit Pro to see how they behave, which one I like more, and to compare them. But for now, I think I would stick with Ginger for the future if I ever need some more needles. Okay, this was all for this parcel. They also had some nice tea bag in it and a cookie, which I like when the yarn shop sells some nice goodie with a parcel. Now I also work with this cardigan from Kutova Kika. This is Lazy Cat cardigan, but I probably will talk about it a bit later. Okay, thank you very much for listening. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked my new yarn choice, and I'm really looking forward to start with work from all of this. I think I will start by just finishing the sweater, then I will very quickly finish the hat, and then I will start to make something with my new yarn. Probably, I don't know, probably we'll start with Be My Tulip by Camille K with this pink yarn, and then I will work with Kid Silk with Romance sweater. Yeah, what was it? Ballerina Romance by Camille K. And I will then work off on Provence top by Ekaterina Vorobyova. So these are my plans. I hope you liked it. I hope you will subscribe. I have some nice tutorials for boho belts, for what else? For hairband, and for summer boho purse, and one more is coming. So stay tuned. Thank you very much.